Just gonna roll through them.
I'm gonna roll through these special features, man.
Special features time!
Because we have to hold off on season 2 of David Tennant. Oh my god. Waking the Dead.
Unbelievably excited that we're actually doing Doctor Who. Can't quite believe it. A lot of pinching going on. So,
there are definitely some good references to old classic Doctor.
The idea of story of the maid, and I suppose giving it a more serious edge, the idea that she's eager for the dead to come back, and in fact the aliens will show. Everyone's expecting me to kind of produce a romp, you know, spooky. In my head for 30 odd years, but it's very different thinking this will be the one. This is actually going on television. This is Doctor Who. How to write this new Doctor based on Russell's first episode and then presumably on casting of whoever it is. We don't know. But it's going well.
Look at how young he is.
He's got a little Colin Firth something kind of going on with that sweater.
Turning into a bit more of a romp.
I love Colin Firth.
And I try to find a way of defeating them through the properties of the gas that
he's so young.
While they're hiding the pipes, their natural environment. So the logical thing was to change the state of the environment to defeat them, liquefy them.
So interesting to hear him talk about how he figured out
how he was planning it, like
solve it. Yeah.
So I'm trying earlier, we'll be starting the whole episode with the TARDIS scene. Russell's very keen to have journeys in the TARDIS now much more dangerous, the floor plate's lifting, so it's just the Doctor's barely in control of it. So this is their first journey into the past and want to make more of it. And that way, which kind of gets back to my original idea about it, you won't see anything of 1860X until it's through Rose's eyes. So the first thing you see of it will be the TARDIS doors opening onto that snowy garden and all the wonder of that. That's more coherently where we are.
Oh, what's up, mister?
The four of us, of course. You can as well, even though you're
I am camera.
the lead for the Tudor. Never get to write anything like this. I only write about breasts and complex level to write about monsters and I had cliffhangers and
Monsters, breasts, and complex level A.
yes.
That's the difference.
I'm a rather bad writer of television.
I'm a rather bad writer.
He's lucked out and finally got his dream come true since writing a Doctor Who story for TV.
Tell us a little
What
about
about
your
like
story.
they're all just like little kids being like, we get to write for Doctor Who.
Could you imagine? Like,
Our episode was called Darling, and
What was it about?
we read the first episode 1, episode 4, and episode 5. We found a big table of Millennium staging in Cardiff, and yeah, it's gobsmacking. It's actually now really happening. Doctor Who we're actually starting, and Christopher Eccleston is extraordinary. He's got the charm and the humour and all the light touches and the great serious gravitas that I've seen.
Today is the day, Doctor Who Day.
Doctor Who Day?
In the car on the way to Cardiff for the first day of shooting on my
shooting his episode.
Doctor Who, The Unquiet Dead.
Cut that. I'm doing a night vision like Most Haunted.
They're so cute. They're just like little kids right now.
He stands up and she...
Look at him! Oh!
Just hanging out on set.
Oh!
The strangest thing of all was just hearing people casually saying the Gel, especially the first assistant line to say. So the Gel is streaming up into the upper circle, and you look at that, and the Gels come through, and then the Gel's over there. It's just a silly name for nothing. So I had a wonderful day, one of the nicest days of my whole life.
Just him watching the episode.
Why did you agree to be Doctor Who? Because it was written by Russell T Davies, primarily.
Excuse you?
You weren't a fan then? Wanted to be
No, I
Doctor
wasn't a
Who.
fan as a child, no. I was
Really?
playing out when Doctor Who was on as a child. Because as a child I was fascinated by the concept of a character remaining the same but looking different. I thought that was fascinating, and secondary to that I wanted to see how they would do it, technically. And the other time I would tune in was the inside of the Dalek.
as a child, I thought that was mesmerising.
Did you go back at any point and go, I'm going to keep that bit of Doctor Who? Or which bits can you jump?
I feel the old series, I think what we've jettisoned is the sexism of the underwritten female role. And also, I felt that it was time to, along with the sexism, it was time for that to be kicked out.
I love that.
Love you, Christopher Eccleston.
That's so cool to hear him talk about the humble.
You will, for the rest of your life, have a large number of fans who want to write letters to you. Have you?
I might have enemies. Might have a large number of enemies. Depends what they feel about me. I immediately met a number of Whovians, for what should we call them Whovians?
Yes, we should. Whovian for life.
And gentle. I would like 8 to 12-year-olds to take me into their heart. I don't think I've got much of a chance with Tom Baker and John Pertwee fans, but I'm hoping that 8 to 12-year-old children I'll be their first Doctor, and they'll love me the way people love Baker.
Why did it have to come back now?
Because one of our most brilliant writers wanted to address it, Russell T Davies. But it also came back because it is a fantastic idea. The classic elements of this series are there: the Daleks, the TARDIS, the Doctor's persona, his aims, the central message of love life in all its forms are there. The old 70s stuff, the paternalistic know-all and the helpless sidekick, that's gone.
We hear
she's certainly not helpless.
The problem of conquering a planet with stars.
She created herself.
So that's a problem that
she was the bad wolf.
None of the rest of never mind accents, none of the rest of the Doctors have had to face Daleks that can do that.
Can you tell us how they do it?
Oh no, it'd spoil it, wouldn't it? I'm not in the spoiling business.
Fantastic.
What a hell of a man. I love Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, he seemed very, very nice.
If anyone out there has started Doctor Who and did not start with number 9 and did not start with Christopher Eccleston,
go the fuck back.
What she said, exactly what she just said. Go back, start it over, respect the show, and respect the Doctor. Oh,
exploding building,
destroying the layer.
In that you've got explosions going off and girders and beams dropping. So the art department gave me a set of photographs that they'd taken on their recce, and Colin maps and
look at that thing.
Building it. Colin did the bulk of the ceiling, I did the bulk of the walls and the gantry work.
1/6
and
scale.
Then we used
two 16mm film cameras shoot each explosion from 2 different angles, giving the editor more material to create a truly dramatic sequence.
Really coming down.
It absolutely looks like it.
Really cool. And I'm sure they enhanced
and here's the
stuff
final
with
result.
CGI as
Live
well.
action and model work combined.
And that obviously
it's might visually
that lava
realised
pit.
in the final.
This is Julie heading towards my flat. And we're going to have a good old chinwag before production starts.
To be held at the Millennium Stadium, and we're reading episodes 1, 4 and 5, all written by the marvellous Russell T Davies.
And what happens at a read-through?
A read-through is a very, very scary thing, so we're all very nervous.
I have written 4 and I've got 4 more to write. Today was done the read-through of my first 3
So he wrote 8 of the 13?
Yes.
3 episodes gone.
And can you tell me what it's been
just
like
the one?
writing Doctor Who?
Just the one.
Absolutely, I love it.
Oh, look at the
it's
joy.
Hard. It's much harder than I thought it would be. I thought, but there was a little bit in me I thought when it's a crisis and you rush, you cannot write these off.
How exciting. Yep, there they are.
Ah! Look at that little guy in the pig suit. This is the first thing. Is this the first thing they shot? This one shot? That would be hilarious. This thing, this place, the very beginning.
There she
The
is.
boring humdrum life.
Billy Piper. I could not have imagined anyone else as Rose Tyler other than Billy Piper. Oh.
The makings of TARDIS.
Oh, there she
called
is.
addendum, which comes out quite shiny when you sand it back. Yeah. So the area.
God, she's so beautiful. I can't get over it. Oh,
There she is.
She's perfect. She's perfect.
That's cool.
Right?
This is where the alien guy died. Aww.
Oh,
Alien
yeah.
conspiracy guy.
I was just so emotional when it was all going down. In the very last episode, you know, when he sends Rose back in the TARDIS, where she lands is the same street where her dad originally got hit.
Oh.
I know. Oh, so good.
Some of these gaps we think we can fill in later in post-production, pick the picture so that the gap disappears. Courtesy of the Mill, special effects.
The Mill did the visual effects for this. Aww. Interesting. Sorry, I work in visual effects, so I know some of these company names.
Look, Julie T, you read through.
Are you on Minstrel again?
Yes.
You are.
That's Philip and Lynn at the read through talking to each other. It was mad.
This is so effing cute.
The rest is history.
I've always had a bit of a thing about possession.
This episode again.
I was a very morbid child and I was always obsessed with death and funeral arrangements.
What a
and
creepy thing to say.
Alan Bennett says we all have only a few beans in our tin to rattle, and I think he's dead right. And it's something I keep coming back to. There's an element of sort of disembodied ghostliness. And ghost stories, I think, that's what I like the most. So it all felt right for this.
Lame ghosts.
A Victorian story in Cardiff with Charles Dickens and seances, essentially. And I thought, well, I hope that's the one he wants me to do. And hey, poncho it was. The best thing you can have as a writer is just suddenly a collision of ideas. And I got very excited immediately. I thought, I know what I can do with this. Originally, it was set in a what they used to call a spiritualist hotel. There would literally be a different medium on every floor, and you could just make your appointment and go and see them. And I thought it was a rather interesting idea to have all these fakes. And the big leap I made was the idea that they needed a vehicle to house themselves. They were disembodied, and then suddenly there was a possibility of a moral
I guess with
dilemma.
that World War
because
II episode,
the world
for
is
the
full
most
of
part, they were in the future. They didn't go back to the past that much.
Exactly.
Well, I guess they were in the past for her dad, and I guess I'm wrong.
Seriously, though, you can't
Seriously, though, I can.
Wrong!
And then, of course, that they appear
Like
to be
5
benevolent
episodes?
and childlike, and in fact are quite the opposite.
Rather a lot of them, eh?
And Russell and I got very excited about the notion of doing Victorian zombie. I've got a good ear for dialogue and language, I think, and to me it was all about kind of absorbing the influences of the period and everything I liked about Dickens was a challenge. It's something I initially resisted. I think it was in the brief. In the end, I think crucial to the success of it is Simon Callow doing such a wonderful job with it and not doing a fruity performance, except when it's needed. He very much played to the script of a weary and rather disappointed man at the end of his life who, in a Scrooge-like manoeuvre, suddenly regains his joie de vivre. And
Not a knocker, but Marley's face.
Dickens is doing a reading but becomes Scrooge and himself, and there's possibilities for all kinds of references.
I can't take part in this.
Humbug, come on, open mind.
This is precisely the sort of cheap mummery I strive to unmask.
I was thrilled with it, and if I fell under a mechanoid tomorrow and that was my only contribution to Doctor Who, I'd be very happy.
Yay! So cool, man. What an experience.
Hello, sweeties. If you enjoyed that, be sure to exterminate that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click that bell to be notified about future episodes.
Alonzi. Support us at patreon.com/fantheorytv for exclusive and early access to full-length reactions, unaired and unblocked episodes, and so much more.
Spoilers!
It's bigger on the inside.